Welcome, everyone. This is our Android Week with Alan Furstenberg in New York, Bruce Turner in Lynchburg, Virginia, Duke Carrico in Kingsport, Tennessee, Cadeas Kalut in Newport Beach, California, and in Menifee, California, Pam Adger, where it's raining. This is our Android Week. Welcome. So our first topic is this smartwatch called the Spice something. The Spice Smart Pulse M9010. I thought LG's had a bad name.
What was that model number again, Dan?
The 9010? Or is it 9010? Or is it 9010? I'm not sure. But apparently it's only in India, where I lived for 3 years. And I think Cadeas, one of your friends, was surprised. I was born in Japan. I don't look the part. But if you've seen me in person, I'm 5'7". So I can go to Japan. That's where I buy all my suits because I don't have to get anything hemmed. So there's that. My international background has advantages over Brooks Brothers, even. Okay, so what do you think about this watch, Cadeas? You've got a lot of... I know you know a lot of Asian friends. Most of yours are not East Asian, right?
I have some friends from India too, so I have friends all over.
This watch. What's noteworthy about it? It's going to have a spot for 2 SIM cards, and it's got it connects to your Android device. I don't know. I don't think it's Android Wear. I could be wrong, but it's $67. Wow. So what do you think? Are you impressed with these specs, or is this like?
I'm not impressed because we've seen this before. If you've ever heard of the LG GD910 that came out in 2009, was basically this exact same watch. So you put the SIM card in it. So it's not anything groundbreaking. And that explains why it's $69 too, is because it's old technology. So, and I actually looked on the net to try to find that watch, and so here's a picture of it right now. Okay, well, I was trying to show a picture, but something new's happening with Hangout, so I don't know. Can you see that there, Dan?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so but yeah, so this watch here is pretty much the same thing. It's got the 3G capability, Bluetooth, the whole 9 yards. It's the same thing that we're looking at here. So I mean, this came out in 2009, and this new watch isn't bringing anything new to the table. So,
well, what it's bringing new to the table is that it's $70.
Indeed.
Yeah, but that's anything that's 6 years old. So, I don't know. I'm not thrilled by this watch at all.
But you're talking about a country, and like I said, I lived in India in New Delhi for 3 years, and you're talking about a country where $70 versus $200 is the difference between having or not having a smartwatch. You know, some of these guys work a long time. You know, like these garment workers in the factories that fall down all the time. I mean, they don't have $200 disposable income.
Okay, well, I mean, in that scenario, it would be better for people who are in India, I guess. But as far as us, this isn't anything for us to pay attention to, I would say.
So you've always had a beef against the Indians.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding. Alan, so you think this is good for an emerging market, but it's probably wouldn't catch on in the U.S. unless it was a $50, $60 Best Buy throwaway item. I mean, we have a low-income market here in this country as well.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. It's trying to do something that I think most people have already agreed on is a really bad idea, and that's try to shove everything that we have in a phone into a watch form factor. And I think we're rapidly coming to consensus that it's not going to work. It doesn't work well. It's not comfortable to use. It's not pleasant to use. There may be good reasons why you'd want to do it. Namely, you don't want to carry around both a phone and a watch. But I think we're rapidly coming to consensus this is just a bad form factor for many of the applications.
Okay, so it's a win-win-win, basically.
Absolutely. Gets us on to the next subject quickly.
Yeah. Okay, so next up is you can mirror your Android screen to the television with Chromecast. This would actually be very helpful to me because the way I do this show, I use I used to use Wirecast. Now I use Open Broadcasting software. They're both very good. One's free, one's expensive, and I bring them in with using HDMI into my Hangout computer. That's how you see them, and you see me. It's going into my streaming computer through a Intensity Pro card. So what I could do if I was doing a demo to make a video, I could unplug the laptop from that Intensity Pro card. I could take my Chromecast, plug it in, and I could mirror my phone, and I could do a nice high quality. I assume there's some latency. I could do a nice high quality image if I was trying to demo something, a new app or a review or whatever. But what are some of the use case scenarios where this would be relevant other than, if you're Marcus Brownlee trying to demo an app?
No, that's about it.
So it's a neat gimmick.
It's something that should have been there from start, I'd say. So it's not anything. It's just finally kind of thing.
Why do you say it should have been there from the beginning? This is an edge. I mean, this is not something that a lot of people are going to need.
That's true, but I just feel like that's something that should have been a part of Android or just screen share. I mean, this is something on iOS that we've been able to do for a long time. So it's just one of those things where I'm glad we can finally do it now that I don't need to do it anymore. So
I don't know.
Is that mine?
I think part of my issue with people who are like, oh, this is great, that's the bad way of doing it in the first place. Most of the stuff that people want to see on their screen, I mean, the reason why iOS people love their equivalent feature is because that's the way that they show video that's on their phone on the screen, on a larger screen. And we've got better ways to do that with Chromecast.
Well, no, because on iOS, AirPlay was the same exact thing where you press the button and it throws it up to the screen in the whole 9 yards within that application. It was that way, but then there was also an option inside the operating system to share your entire screen, what you're actually. So when Chromecast came, it was just one of those things that I expected it to do that it didn't do, even though I don't use it that much. So like I said, I'm glad it's here because I feel it should have been there from the start, but I don't think it's anything groundbreaking that we need to turn cartwheels over.
I don't know why everybody has such a terrible connection. All y'all are delayed. It's weird. But yeah, when they first described the Chromecast, my first thought was you're casting something to the thing. You should be able to, but it was, marketed as really it should have been called Cloudcast, because that's the way it was first presented. Everything you couldn't take your local music or videos or whatever and put them on a device using Chromecast. You could only cast it using your device, your browser, or your phone or tablet to instruct Chromecast to pick something up that was stored in the cloud. They should have called it Cloudcast. But now, I see I guess they didn't because they wanted to call it a Chrome thing, and they're getting some features like this, which is, I think I agree with Cadeas, this should have been day one. This is kind of a niche. I mean, I don't know how often people are going to need to do this. It's kind of an edge case.
I mean, I would, if I had to look around and use it right now, I would say if I'm trying to show somebody what I'm doing in Glass, I could share my phone screen and throw that up there, although there'd be a massive delay. Like, that would be really the only use case that I would find. Or if I'm on a website and want to show somebody something and I got like 6 people to show, then I that's another use case that I would say, okay, instead of everybody smashed all around me, let's look at this on the
If
big
you wanted
screen.
to train your staff in how to do something on the phone, a sales staff, you want to train them how to use the Android Salesforce app or whatever it is, right? You got them in a room and you can put it on a projector. Yeah, so it's helpful. And it's
Cadeas, if you wanted to show people a website, though, you could do tab casting, which has been around for slightly longer, but still not long. Not very long. This really is only if you need to show. Right. Yes, I agree. If you need to demo something on the phone, this is a good way to demo something on your phone. If you want to demo something on Glass, this is a good way to demo something on Glass. That's a limited application.
I agree.
okay.
Next subject.
Any thoughts, Pam, on anything? Pam is our meteorologist.
I don't have any. I don't have Chromecast, and so I haven't been able to mirror anything.
Hey Dan, can you buy Pam a Chrome?
I
For
can
what
buy-
reason?
So she can put it in her sock drawer like Craig Ship did. I've loaned mine
Yeah,
to my
exactly.
I've loaned mine to my housekeeper. Alan has his right next to his Q. But I
No,
still,
mine replaced my Q. I boxed up my Q the day I got my Chromecast.
if you have a smart television, or if you have a television that is not hooked up to a computer or is not a smart TV, the Chromecast is great. If you have a smart TV and you're happy with the apps on it, or if your television is hooked up to a computer, there's really no need for Chromecast. But there are a lot of
Wait.
televisions out there that have an HDMI input and do not have any internet connectivity or apps. They were bought before all that stuff, and Chromecast is perfect for that. Go ahead, Pam.
Okay. I was just going to say, I don't have HDMI hookup on the TV in like my bedroom or anything, so I couldn't even use it.
Okay, so I will not be purchasing a Chromecast for Pam.
And I'll
Despite-
dispute with you if you like the apps that you have on your smart TV, because almost all of them universally suck.
True, I know. I have them and they suck. I'd much rather just drag a Netflix
Thank
window
you.
up and blow it up. But if you enjoy them and you like them,
Next story. I really fine. Whatever. Next story.
Alan's back. Okay, so next up, this story here: OnePlus teases wood backs for July 22nd. This is the very interesting phone that is causing all sorts of drama at Samsung World, because it's basically kind of the same specs. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. The specs are similar to Samsung's more expensive phones, but this thing's like half the price. I think are they mainly in Asia, or are they coming here? And so there's that issue just about OnePlus in general. The second issue is that just like with computers where they were all eggshell, then Dell came out with some black ones, and now you can get all kinds of crazy colors. And now we're seeing more of that with phones. We've seen, I think HTC has a actual wood back, or I don't know if it's fake or real, but I think it's neat for people to be able to a little more personalized looking phone. You're with it all day, just like a car. I mean, like the Ford Model T came in black, or you could get another car, and now phones are getting more colors and textures apparently. So, any thoughts on this?
None really.
I mean, the only real story here is
It's a stupid reason to buy a phone.
the only real story here is hoping they actually extend more invitations when they, open up this new coloring scheme, because people want the phone, and it's almost impossible to get the phone.
That's what did the Q in. It only came in one color, black. All right. What do you think about the OnePlus phone in general? Is it going to give Samsung a real run for the money?
They get it out fast enough, yeah. If not, it's going to sink. What do you think, Kadeas?
I don't see. I see it being on the market for certain people. It's kind of a niche thing. I'm not a CyanogenMod fan. I mean, so I'm not one to buy one of those phones, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that feel the same way. So, yeah, I don't see this as being. I just see it as a niche, just for the niche people.
Okay. Not that we're far removed from those niche people, because all of us are fairly odd. Okay, so next is, by the way, if you're watching, please comment. We love comments. We'll read them and laugh with you or yell at you if you're mean. I'm not the only victim here. You can be a victim as well. Okay, so software topics. Android's phone wiping fails to delete personal data. Not the... Oh, okay. That was an internal thing. What is this about, guys? Can you explain this? Because I don't... Honestly, I think I read it like 5 days ago and I've forgotten it. What's the deal here? Startling admission.
So basically,
from a host.
basically, when you go and you erase your phone, obviously it's erasing quickly. So that tells you that it's not actually removing anything, and it's actually basically what it's doing is just indexing everything. And slowly the data erases as your device fills up, as when the next user is using.
I remember now. This is exactly like a hard drive. If you erase a file, you haven't really erased the file. You can go in there. There are apps that have been around since the DOS days, where you can go and look and retrieve stuff if you know what to look for and what the headers of the files look like, that sort of thing. It's complicated because stuff gets fragmented. Pieces of a single file will be in multiple places. And the only way to really delete it is to fill the whole hard drive up, with if you had an empty hard drive and you had a file and you copied, this file plus this file, copy to this new file name, and then you kept doing that until you filled the whole hard drive up with new data, then you would have deleted the hard drive. And this is not news. This is from the 80s, 70s. But I guess someone used a program and they did a news story about it. I guess people are surprised at this, though, right?
Yeah, because, Android is saying, hey, if you want to clear your hard drive, this is the way you clear your hard drive. You reset your hard drive, or you reset your phone before you turn it in, and people think that that's a valid solution. When the better solution is actually not all that much more difficult. And that's that you encrypt your phone and then reset it, and that will essentially render your hard drive garbage.
Okay. How much of a how much would you lose storage?
Wait. But wouldn't the purpose of turning your phone in be for someone else to use it? For them to send it to, like iPhones, for example. People buy iPhones and then ship them to China. If someone else is going to use the phone, why would you want to render the hard drive useless?
You don't want to render the hard drive useless. What you want to do is render the hard drive unreadable of its previous data. So by encrypting it and then doing a factory reset, you're essentially rendering the contents of the hard drive unreadable. And then by doing the factory reset, it puts the new image on it. It starts it from the beginning.
Okay, so you're not basically, you
not
have a
making
full phone.
Yeah, you're not making it useless. You're just making it unreadable. You're just making the old data unreadable, which is what people thought you were doing in the first place.
Got it.
A couple comments real quick. John apparently got a notification. Finally. Thank God. I think I clicked the email them, but I can't do that on Google Plus one because there's like more than whatever number. It's so kludgy. And then Shauna says, oh, by the way.
Well, the method that you're trying to use is kludgy!
What? That was all one syllable,
I've
Alan.
told you a million times, have people subscribe to it and then post a video on the page, and then that way they'll be notified. This is easier.
Okay. But that's several clicks. Anyway, Shauna says, by the way, I have the 64 gigabyte OnePlus phone, so I'm looking forward to this episode. I need a case for it. I dropped it today. Shauna, how do you like the phone? Have you had a Samsung before? How do you compare the hardware? What do you think? That's cool. You're the first person in the wild. I've met two people with Windows phones, real live humans, and you're the first OnePlus person. So if you could give us some feedback, that'd be awesome. Okay, so anything else on your deleted phone? Hearing none. Google could be readying selective app restoration across multiple devices. So this is sort of like just treating apps like your contact lists, I guess, right?
Sure, if you want to think of it that way. I mean, that's not how I think of it, but if you want to think of it that way, you can...
How would you describe it, Alan?
Well, the way I describe it is right now, every app that you purchase right now under your account is automatically available to any future phone or tablet that you buy. Okay? All this is doing is taking it one step further, and when you activate the phone, it's going to say, hey, we notice you've bought all of these apps already. Which ones do you want installed on your phone? So it's just, taking it one step further. So instead of you having to go to all of the apps in the Play Store and say, yes, install this one on this new phone, yes, install this one on this new phone, yes, install this one on this new phone, you're going to get some list or something that says, hey, you have all these apps. Do you want them? Yes, no, thank you for playing.
Now, I thought Android already did that.
My understanding is that you need to select it when you get a new phone. It doesn't automatically do it for you.
I think what you have to do is you go to the Play Store and you say My Apps, right? And then won't it list the ones you bought?
No, when you're going through the setup on a new phone, when you're going through the setup, it asks you if you want to restore from backup. I thought what this was doing was bringing the data from those apps. If you were on level 40 on Angry Birds on your old phone and you restore it to the new one, then I thought currently the way it works is you're back at level 1. However, you'd be on level. If you're on level 40 on your old phone with this new feature, I thought you'd be at level 40 on the new phone. Did I get dropped?
No, I can see you. I can hear you. I cannot see you.
That's a backup, Cadeus. What I'm wondering is if this does is what it will do if you don't have a backup. And honestly, more and more apps should be relying on storing the data in the cloud instead of storing it on your phone, or relying on it only being on your phone. So that this now has, multi-device syncing. It has, you've got all of those features, and once you have all those features, adding a new device should just be a matter of, okay, I've added a new device, make it work just like my old device, without having to deal with, oh, did I make a backup? When did I make that backup? We're Android. We know what these cloud things are. We shouldn't have to deal with crap like backup anymore.
Yeah, that's app design problem. If it's doing
right,
that.
and what the Play Store is doing, Google's been pushing that app design for a while now. What the Play Store is doing is taking that one step further and saying, if you've made an app that works that well already, we're going to make it easier to just get apps onto a new device. And this is part of what we're going to do with that.
Do we know, can you, and to what Cadeus was saying, it says they only bring in what they want. The amount of data being brought over is unclear for now, but we would assume Google wants to try and restore as much as possible when a user is activating a new device. But as we discussed, the best way is if you're logged into Angry Birds, it knows you're on level 4 without having to have the equivalent of what we would think of as a cookie or something on the phone, because that's the whole advantage. It's the big advantage of an Android phone is mine could be run over by a truck and all my photos and everything's stored in on Google Plus or in the cloud or whatever. So I can easily restore everything with the exception of MMS received photos. Okay, so that's cool. I would definitely want this to be optional and be able to select it, because there are certain apps I would want on my phone I wouldn't want on a tablet, for example, and vice versa, right? So there.
Right, next story.
So wait, real quick. So was the final consensus that yes, we're going to be level 40 on Angry Birds on our new device, or is it that we'll get Angry Birds without having to pay for it? Which one was it?
Well, we already get Angry Birds without having to pay for it again.
I meant if it had been a paid app.
Right, no, I'm saying that we already have that. That feature is already there. The question is, do we get it automatically or not, and how much of the data comes over?
And my experience has been is that all the apps you had previously carry over 90% of the time.
But you're doing a backup. You're talking a backup and restore.
Well, no, I'm just saying when you go through the setup, it says, do you want to bring your data from your old phone? You say yes, and it brings it over. But I don't know. I haven't looked at usually it's just bringing the apps. It's not bringing the data within the apps. So when it brings Angry Birds over, you're on level 1. It's not going to remember all your scores and all that stuff.
Well, actually, our consensus is we have no idea what this story is talking about.
Okay. There you go.
Because, there are some apps that, I'm sorry, gentlemen. I'm going to use Superior Tracker as an example because it is an app that I'm storing data in monthly, right? So when I go to my doctor, I can show my history, right? If I get a new phone or if I get a new device or if I break my phone or whatever and I lose all that history, that is impactful for me because I quit storing it in a paper format because of this app. So I need it to port everything over.
And honestly, maybe you tell me. I think that I don't know why Google's actually needing to be the people who do this. Shouldn't the app developers be the one making their stuff be in the cloud and
Well,
restoring?
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Is yes.
I don't know why Google would need to do any besides contacts, calendars, and the stuff that they already do. I don't see maybe the settings on the phone and maybe the order of your icons, but aside from that, I don't see what Google needed to do.
In your specific, if for that app, Pam, the first thing that I would contact the app developer and say, is this data getting backed up anywhere? So, you know, and ask them that. If it doesn't make it clear somewhere, ask them that and say, you know, are you storing this in the cloud? If yes, where? If no, why not?
Okay. Speaking of kludgy, Kevin Bryan. Okay, I'm subscribed to the Google Plus page for Our Android Week. Too bad I didn't get a notice this show is starting. Wait, holy crap! I did get a notice from Our Android Week. What is with Google notifications anyway? I never get notified. Fumes. And I checked notifications again and it disappeared. I have to go back and click on Mr. Jingles, then the Google Plus notifications link, size. So there.
So let's discuss this after the show, Dan.
This is the sort of thing that we discuss every Friday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Pacific on Google Plus Week.
Yeah.
You may have heard of that show, Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Real quick though, Kevin, notifications are borked. Okay, just so you know. Okay.
Pam's being polite there.
Can you note the time of this exchange so we can share it with our friends and troll them? I like to publicly troll them when everything's screwing up.
27 minutes, Dan.
Okay, excellent. Okay, next up is wearable widgets version 2.0 adds support for Android Wear. It can send any widget to your watch. Alan, is this a good or a bad thing?
This is cute. I haven't played with this much, but I've seen some of the screenshots. This is actually the first thing that I really wanted to play with on Wear. It's cute. Everyone knows how much I love widgets, and what this lets you do is essentially create a widget that shows up on your Wear screen and synchronizes with the widget on your phone. So there are some really clever applications for this. If you can imagine putting a Drive widget on there or putting the Now widget on there, you'll be displaying data on your watch face in very new and different ways. I think it can be very effective.
Is this something Google would want or they'd be wary of?
I think Google, this is the sort of thing that I think can have a great deal of practical application on Wear, the right form factor on Wear. It can do a lot of things correctly on Wear. It can do a lot of things wrong, too. There are some widgets that really are are unsuited for this. But there are enough widgets, I think, that are well suited and would work well, that this is a very clever design. I saw you nodding a bit there, Kadeus. You have any thoughts on this one?
I like the way it looks. It's pretty interesting. I am going to install it in a little bit and start playing with it. But yeah, definitely, this is definitely one that I'm really interested in and get the premium license also.
Okay, cool. An exciting thing for wearable devices. I can't wait till I get my Moto 360. Okay, so next up is the Android L keyboard was removed from the Play Store. It was found in violation of the developer agreement. I don't think I ever got it. I think you can still get an APK and install it, so it's not like it's gone, right? But what was the deal with this, and how good is it?
It's a good keyboard. I loved it. I still have it, so I love it. I'm just disappointed, but I understand why they pulled it. I mean, it's in violation of their terms. So
actually, I think I have it. I think I stand corrected, and I think when I downloaded it, because I downloaded it right before they nuked it, and I've got it on my Nexus 7, and it's kind of weird. The letters are fainter, and the space bar looks kind of weird at the bottom. Is that I'm talking about the same thing?
Yeah, and it's got a green, like a olive green kind of color.
Yeah.
Hunter
So
green kind of color. Yeah.
I saw you had responded. Your comment was highlighted because we know each other in the Play Store.
Right.
I think that
Right.
is such a neat thing that they did in the Play Store, where if there's someone I know, I've circled, or circled me or whatever, we communicate with each other. They know that, and I get that recommendation. But you would said this is my go-to keyboard.
Let me ask
So-
you something, Cadeus. Have you tried the latest update to the stock keyboard?
I've been using the stock keyboard since day one. I love the stock keyboard.
Did you see the latest update to it?
I saw that it was updated, but what did it change? I didn't really look and see what it
This
changed.
was actually, as far as I could tell, I mean, it caught me off guard, but I love it. It moved the microphone key that was on the first set of keyboard. It moved that to the upper right-hand corner and
Yes.
replaced it with a comma. That's brilliant. I mean, it's about damn time that they did that.
And I think this
Is this it?
kind of this go. Yeah, that's the one, Dan. That's the one.
Okay,
This
so
kind of goes into kind of what the issue is I don't understand why they're inventing keys, and this is something that people have been talking to me about for the last 3 months, and I'm starting to really notice it. Like, for example, in Hangouts, where your enter key is missing on some devices, but it's there on other devices. And so, yeah, for example, they took that microphone key and moved it up where it should have been from the start, or just an OK Google
Right.
should something that should have been something that did it. So,
and for folks wondering, this is what it looks like. This is on my Nexus 7, my beautiful Nexus 7. This is what this is Android L, right there. That's the keyboard. Go ahead, guys.
Looks like a keyboard.
but yeah, so that's definitely. So yeah, I definitely like that they did make that move on the stock one. But pretty soon this Android L would be the stock one, and that's where it was in that keyboard. So that's why I didn't really notice that moved. Does that make? Because that's where it was been in the Android L keyboard.
Yeah,
So-
no, it's probably where it's been on the iOS keyboard until they removed it or something.
No, iOS was always iOS is always next to the space bar. Actually, that's probably why they put it there. And you got me curious.
Quick question, totally random. Quick question.
It's still a button next to on the iOS device. It's still a button next to the space bar. So that'll probably move soon.
Is that a 5S? What is that?
5S.
Okay. And I forget what's your go-to Android phone?
Nexus 5.
Which one do you normally use for calls?
Nexus 5.
Okay, so that one is basically like a Wi-Fi tablet, or is it activated?
Nexus 5 is the phone.
Okay, so that one you can use like Wi-Fi, but you don't have it with the phone company plan.
So what was your totally random and
They all have plans, Dan.
Okay, do you think that
sidetrack question, Dan?
is iPhone 6 going to have a 4K camera? There was some-
I don't speculate on stuff like that.
Okay. I can't wait for 4K.
Alan's gonna have a meltdown, dude.
Okay, next is Google Camera update brings Android Wear remote trigger. I guess you can.
So basically, from your Android watch, your Android Wear watch, either one, does any of the three, you're able to actually take a picture. So if you want to set your phone up on a tripod and then jump in a picture, you can get in, and then when you're ready to take it, just touch your watch. That simple.
So the new selfie is
Looks like a normal picture. No more selfie.
it's like this.
Well, I would hope you wouldn't take the picture up here, but you would put your hands down to your side and.
It's a stalker phone!
Oh man.
You still have to
Movie
have
theaters will ban watches!
you still have to have the phone out like this, right?
No, that's what you got a tripod for. You can put the phone on the tripod.
Actually, that's exactly how you'd have
Oh
it,
my
Pam, because we
God.
couldn't see it.
Well, if you're holding the phone out,
Put your phone on a tripod. If I'm going to do a selfie, I'm not going to set my phone up on a tripod.
Damn, nobody said anything about selfies except Dan. This isn't about a selfie. This is
This
about
is about stalking with your cell phone.
No, I was just trolling. I was being Craig.
No, if
But
you're going
if
to
you're
troll
holding the-
with something
if you're
that's actually
holding the-
more trolling.
If you're holding the phone out, you don't have a finger. How can you reach the button on the
Because you don't
watch?
hold it out. The whole point is that you now hide your phone and you control it with your watch. That's the whole point of it.
Well, I've been able to do that with my Galaxy Camera NX and my phone. I can set my camera up somewhere, and then I get to see the viewfinder on my phone. So it's nothing different other than you don't get a viewfinder on your watch. So
Talker phone. They'll start banning watches from movie theaters and get people kicked out of bars for wearing them soon. Watch
I'm
it.
trying to avoid this conversation.
Okay, so all that happened. Next is a really interesting post about the Kindle Fire, and this is
Dan, what? The Kindle Fire?
the Fire phone. Sorry, is it the Kindle Fire phone or the Fire phone? What the hell is it? What did Bezos decide finally?
It's the Fire phone, Dan.
Okay. So, really good post here from Eli. Is it Fennel or Fennel? I don't know. We've known him for a long time. He's been on the show. And it's $200 with a plan. It's AT&T exclusive. It's not something I would purchase. I don't think anybody. I don't know anybody would purchase this phone. The Kindle HD is an excellent device, to read books and to go shopping and browse the web and watch Amazon Prime and watch Netflix and do major typical tablet things. This is definitely not a phone I would even for a second consider. And apparently the sales are not spectacular. Is this going to end up being a dud?
Well, this is the first problem that I have with this before I say that. The phone's not even out. So what are people talking about? There's no sales. They don't even come out for another 2 weeks. So what are people talking about? Because people don't want to pre-order and they would rather just walk in and buy it. So I don't understand how this even became an issue. The phone doesn't even come out till the 25th. So there's no sale numbers to compare. So this is not something that we can even talk about. Now, to answer the question, do I think this will be a dud? Yeah, this is going to be a Facebook fail, just like all the other ones. So it's going to be a Facebook phone fail. It's the same thing. That's my perspective on it. But I'll have more data on it by Friday. So I'll talk more about it on Google Plus Week.
Or next Monday on our Android week.
Or next Monday, if you want to consider that an Android device. But
Hey.
we'll determine that this week.
Pam, would you consider purchasing an Amazon Fire phone and dumping your Note 3?
No.
That's your fabulous Note 3.
No.
Is that plain and simple? No.
And in fact, I was just thinking, why the hell are more companies coming out with the phones? I mean, there are only so many features or screen sizes or whatever that anyone could possibly need already. They already exist. So unless there's something super special about this phone, which I don't think proprietary operating system, closed system, Amazon's not going to they're not going to get people to move away from iPhone and Android. We don't need another platform. I don't care how cheap it is.
Okay, so I look at it like this. I'm looking up now to see when the iPad came out and when the Kindle came out. I'm pretty sure the Kindle came out first. The Kindle was extraordinarily popular, and
The Kindle came out first?
didn't it? I'm trying to figure that out now.
I think the iPad came out first. I think it was the iPad first. Kindle. I don't think it was the other way around. People weren't thinking about
Yeah, the
big
Kindle
square,
was
carrying
too.
around
Yeah,
big
the Kindle
square.
was way first. The first Kindle came out in 2007, November, for $400. Made by Foxconn, and the iPad was introduced 3 years later, 2.5 years
Oh,
later,
you were right.
in
Yeah, you're
April of
right.
2010. And I remember the Kindle was a runaway success. Just a fantastic way to, kind of really sort of brought the ebook to the masses. Because remember, it was black and white only. It was just a reading device. It wasn't like what we would think of as a multifunction tablet of today. So I guess that's the original Kindle. I guess I'm not sure, but it was so they sort of created that market, and then I guess Steve Jobs saw it and said, I'm sure that was an inspiration or was strongly taken into account when they were making the iPad. In this case, there are two very successful and other much lesser to a much lesser degree still out there, Windows and BlackBerry, but iPhone and Android phones are very well entrenched. And to fork off, people are starting to get tired of bloatware and more into a pure experience, but not so much. I mean, most people aren't aware of it, that there's an option to get a Nexus device or the Play Edition. But people are starting to get pissed off at bloatware, and I can't see Amazon forking Android again the way they did with the tablet devices, which are excellent hardware with the dual front-facing stereo speakers and really good quality. I don't see anyone buying this phone. I think Cadeas's analogy to the Facebook phone, which turned out to just be a launcher, is accurate. I think it is accurate. I don't think this is going to be a hit for them. I could be wrong.
Here's the thing. Amazon or whoever, whatever service or platform or whatever, they have to be bringing something new to the table that nobody's doing that people want to do. It's got to be a reason why people should buy this phone, and there isn't. I can use the Amazon app and make a purchase on Amazon.
No, but here's the thing. What this is bringing isn't just you've got an Amazon app. It's that you've got enhanced scanning and being able to walk into a store with this and say, what is this and how much can I buy for an
Amazon does that already.
Oh, and
But
it's
the
got
Amazon-
that 3D feature, which was so popular that relying on that almost destroyed Best Buy.
But keep in mind, you can do that with the Amazon app right now. I can walk into a store and say, what is this, with the Amazon app, and it will find it and let me be able to purchase it right there. And then the 3D thing, iOS started that, where you can move the phone and it rotates, and people didn't want that.
Yeah, people don't seem to really like
We're sponsored tonight by Google Hangouts,
parallax views.
which are the best way to communicate reliably and consistently with
Dan,
others.
don't bash Hangouts, Dan. Don't bash Hangouts.
I
'cause
love
they cut
Hangouts.
We're sponsored tonight by Google Fiber.
Oh boy, y'all like attacking all the services.
And y'all want to know why I like YouTube Live. See, I look good. Y'all are like,
Oh god.
this
But
the only way
anyway,
I can
so-
look good
so
compared to you
I
guys.
just don't see how this phone is going to change anything or make anybody's life better or make anybody want to do something that they can't already do. So I don't see, if this phone was free, then people may grab it. If this phone was $20, people may grab it. I don't know about
$20.
I honestly don't know. I honestly don't see this being a why should I buy this over anything? And I'm gonna find out if the Play Store is even on there, and do I have to jump through 1,200 hoops if it's not available in the Amazon store? I'm gonna figure all that out this week, and we'll talk about it Friday or Monday.
See, we've advanced. It's 2014 now. It's a tech show, so instead of 50 cents, it's $20.
Oh boy.
I love your accent, Cadeas. I do. I adore it. Okay, so this
no.
this other thing, I forgot to stick this in there. This was in our thing, but have y'all seen this Live Pro? It's an Android-powered mini projector, mobile hotspot, external battery, weird thing. Have y'all heard about that? I don't know. It's like a little mobile projector and a Wi-Fi hotspot.
And I've seen a mobile projector before, and they're trash. I wouldn't give you that for free.
Yeah,
It's
if it's completely dark in the room, then you can see a little image on the wall, right? Um, but it's all about the brightness of the thing. Um, all right, so there we go. Coming up Friday, our other program, Google Plus Week, we have an excellent and quite popular magazine, 588 readers, Google Plus Week magazine. We also have an Our Android Week magazine. You can just search for them on Flipboard. A couple stories here. Apparently, the former Google X director and head of Glass and head of their contact lens project. Um, I I can't pronounce the name. Babak Parviz has left for Amazon, and I swear to God, when I first heard this, my first thought, I commented somewhere. I can imagine like Amazon glasses, like you're walking through Walmart, and literally you just barely glance at an aisle, and like red dots appear in your vision over each item. 20% less on Amazon, 30% less. I can only imagine what Bezos would do. This would be like previous Amazon hardware products on steroids. You could just like glance at an aisle and hit a button and buy it all with one click. But the Alan and Cadeas, because you're both glass guys, the first thought was, okay, Amazon's going to get into a wearable like glass, but those were only two products that he was involved in of others, and not all of them are publicly known, right? Because most of X happens behind, it's the CIA or NSA of Google, behind closed doors. Do you think this means that Amazon's getting into wearables, or do you think it's something else, or they just wanted a mind of his caliber, or what do you think? Any speculation on this? I think the rush to judgment that Amazon's going to come out with Amazon glasses is premature at best. What do you think, guys?
I think we shouldn't speculate on it and just let's see what happens.
But it's a talking head show. You have to,
Yeah, I think guessing that they're trying to make a play for wearables is kind of a bizarre strategy for them. It's way far outside their core competency. Way, way far outside their core competency. I wouldn't be surprised if they were trying to use his knowledge to tap into things that are inside their core competency, or something like a game console or a similar console along those lines. But I'd be surprised if they went for wearables.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't see how Amazon wearables would even. I don't know what they would do that would relate to Amazon.
And then the other story we have so far, there'll be others, of course, but the other one here is this very interesting. I've got the mobile version on. My God, this is unreadable. But Microsoft's they've been lowering the price for Windows for laptops, and they're trying to compete with Chromebooks, which are a much lower price point because it's mainly a cloud device, and this is a completely unreadable, unusable story here. Microsoft is aiming straight for Google's Chromebooks this holiday season.
That sounds like Microsoft, all right. Unreadable, unusable.
No, this is The Verge, but I'm looking at the mobile website, and it didn't switch over.
And Alan, this comes from the person that wanted Android apps on your Chromebook. Remember, they wanted to put Flipboard on there.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. At the company's conference, the COO revealed HP's planning to release a $199 laptop running Windows for the holidays. He didn't provide specs for the HP Stream device, but he did detail $250 laptop options from Acer and Toshiba. Acer's low-cost laptop will ship with a 15.6-inch screen, 2.16 gigahertz Intel Celeron processor. They're still making Celerons years later. Toshiba's includes an 11.6-inch display, probably have much better battery life. Appears that Intel's Celeron will help them push out cheaper devices in the race to the bottom. And also revealed HP, this is very interesting, they're releasing a 7 and 8-inch version of the Stream PC for $99, both running Windows. A $99 window, 7-inch screen. I don't know if it's got a keyboard or what it is. but he said we are going to participate at the low
I bet they'd
end.
run Chromium pretty well.
Run what?
Chromium.
Yeah, you could run use Windows, use Internet Explorer to download Chrome.
No. I didn't say Chrome.
No, the Chrome OS.
The Chrome OS. Just wipe out this Windows crap and install Chrome OS right on it.
It'd probably
It'd run
kick
a heck of
ass.
a lot
Yeah.
better, I'm sure.
Yeah. So this is probably using their. This is a push to use. In my opinion, this is perhaps satire, so don't sue me. To use the Windows, the long known, trusted Windows logo, to fraudulently sell these devices that are cloud-based. People thinking they're going to get the full Windows experience, and it's garbage. Or is this actually cool? You know, if you need a Windows PC for your kid or whatever. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. when
Maybe
they
it's
come out.
running that. Maybe it'll be running that other version of Windows that doesn't actually run exe
RT.
files. I can't think of them. RT, yeah.
Does RT
Maybe it's
even
running
exist?
Who knows?
Okay, any other thoughts? This program is called Our Android Week. It is each Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, unless I'm trolling my friends and they had a hysterical chat, and I exploited that chat in a post right before the showtime. Other than that, we're at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on Monday nights, Our Android Week. Better than 24. Now you can watch again because 24 has had their season finale tonight. Our other program is on Friday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Pacific. Friday, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. That is called Google Plus Week, the longest running show on Google Plus. Popular tech show. Our claim to fame. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it. Thank you for your comments. And we will see you next time. Until then, have an epic Android week. See you Monday.